What up, what up, what up? Alright, here it is, the list. Time to celebrate and look forward to the games that are coming out, especially me, that I am fucking just excited as hell to play. I'm pumped, ready to go. I'm ready to conquer 2014 and play almost all these games. And then I started to actually make my list. And I thought, because I was cheating pretty frequently for some of these games, because there's no fucking way some of these games are going to come out in 2014. So I thought, what's the fun in that? What's the fun of restricting myself to just 2014? Why don't I talk about the games that I'm looking forward to, not only in 2014, but beyond that shit. I want to talk about the games that could come out in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2025 for all I know. So here it is. So I'm just going to call this the 10 most anticipated games of 2014 and beyond. That's what I'm going to call this motherfucker. So, let's get this shit started. Number 10 is Infamous Second Son. Now, truth be told, I have played very little of the previous two Infamous games. Don't get me wrong, I have played them, and I've really enjoyed my time with both of them. But this one seems to be more appealing to me, not only with kind of a less gruff, more humorous main character, voiced by Troy Baker, fresh off his trio of amazing performances in 2013, with BioShock Infinite and The Last of Us and the Joker and Batman Arkham Origins. I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring to this role, and this story seems to have of course, it benefits from the PlayStation 4, the next-gen system, which it looks fantastic. These graphics, oh my god, amazing. And I also like how there seems to be a bigger threat in this game. I mean, I know you had the giant doomsday monster in the second game, and then it seems like this one, it's going to be more of the government. Where a lot of this reminds me of X-Men. Where, you have Wolverine, you have Jean Grey, you have Cyclops, you have Beast, you have all these guys in this big conflict, not only with the Brotherhood of Mutants, but with the government, where they're like, look, shut these Marines down, get them under control. I mean, not Marines, get these mutants under control. And this seems to be the same thing. It's very X-Men influence in Infamous Second Son, which I really like. And it seems to have more of a punkish attitude than the previous two games, but the previous two games were kind of serious, kind of ultra gruffy. This one is more, like I said, humorous and laid back. I mean, still serious and still very, action-packed, but in a more humorous kind of way. I'm really excited to see what this is going to do. So, fuck yeah. And I'm not going to say this is one of the reasons I want to buy a PlayStation 4, but this is certainly one of the games that I will definitely pick up when I get my PlayStation 4. Alright, number 9 is Metal Gear Solid 5, and that includes both Ground Zeroes and The Phantom Pain. Because I really can't, because I was only going to list The Phantom Pain, but now that I think about it, really the two, they both combine to make Metal Gear Solid 5. So, again, I can't really follow the Metal Gear Solid series to save my life. Whenever I'm confused about something going on in this series, until Game Trailers makes that timeline video of the series, I gotta go to the internet, I gotta go ask some of my friends who are more well-versed in the series than I am, but I'm a big admirer of Hideo Kojima, because I love his philosophy on gaming, and I really enjoy some of the previous games. I liked 2, I really like Snake Eater, that's probably my favorite one, and I really liked Guns of the Patriots, even though that could be really frustrating and overlong at times. I love, one of the things, even though I'm not, as I said, well-versed in the series, I love this game's commitment to tell a compelling story. And even if they do tend to focus more on cutscenes than they do the gameplay, hey, you know what? That's fine with me. When it's this damn good, this damn interesting, I don't mind at all, and I've really enjoyed following the tales of the adventures of Snake and Big Boss and people like that. And what struck me the most about Phantom Pain is that seems to be a lot more open world, which I really like. And I've heard it's going to be pretty much like a stealth version of Grand Theft Auto, which is awesome. And the gameplay trailer that they showed at E3 at the Microsoft conference was fantastic. And then they released the Red Band trailer afterwards, where I think they showed like child soldiering and one of the main heroines getting tortured and a guy with a bag over his head getting shot multiple times. It was just some really, really fucked up shit. And that hooked me. And sure enough, that generated quite a bit of controversy. And I like that. I like that a game designer these days is willing to tackle such big controversy. A lot like the guys at Rockstar. I mean, they deal with controversy all the fucking time in the best way they can. They defend their art, they stand up for their art, and Hideo Kojima seems to be doing that as well. So kudos to the balls on that guy. And as far as Metal Gear 5 goes, graphic-wise, do I really need to say anything? It looks fucking gorgeous. Go back and watch the trailers for this. Fantastic. And I'm really excited to play not only Ground Zeroes, but the Phantom Pain. And if I were to choose between one or the other, I think I'd go more with the Phantom Pain. But like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5 is, in fact, within Ground Zero. So I gotta include that as well. So we'll see. I'm really looking forward to these games. Number 8 is The Order 1886. I honestly was more interested in this game after I read the Game Informer article about it, where I was worried. The E3 trailer they showed was really cool, and it really did get me interested in this game. But I thought it kind of looked a little too much like Underworld, with all like the vampire hunter or the demon hunter and the steampunk. We've kind of seen all of that before. We've seen a lot of this steampunkish demon slaying kind of thing. And then they revealed what the story is, and it's actually an alternate reality version of the Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur, which sounds awesome. When you put into that kind of context, this whole thing is kind of has new life breathed into it, and it sounds really interesting now. Where it's literally about this guy back, I think, like in the 1500s, who started this organization to take on the half man, half monster kind of breed, and he enlisted all these knights with weaponry, and they discovered this kind of secret mystical liquid called black water that could actually give the knights special powers and super long lives. To the cost of their own humanity. But they have sworn a duty to protect people. This is what they're tasked with doing and cursed with doing, which is going to make for some pretty interesting personal moments in the game. And the graphics, if that is true, that what we saw in the E3 trailer was in-game footage and not CGI rendered, oh my god, that definitely feels next gen. Wow, did that look amazing? And I've heard it looks even better. It's gonna look even better in the final product, which is already just damn. And hopefully, it's being developed by Ready at Dawn, and also produced by Sony Santa Monica Studios, who of course did the God of War series, which I think is excellent. So I have really high hopes for this one, and this would be a golden game. This would be one of a really cool game to have co-op with, not just online co-op, but offline, where the split screen, 4 split screen kind of thing, like Halo does. That would be awesome. Please, Radio Dawn, do not miss this opportunity to put in split screen co-op. That would be a game seller right there. But, if it is online co-op, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's still really cool. It's just, it'd be a lot cooler if you could let us do that locally. So, hopefully, the Order 1886, which I'm going to predict will come by around fall 2014. Hopefully that is awesome. I hope we hear more of it in the coming months, especially now that E3, back again, E3 is coming in 6 months. Gonna get pumped for that. And we'll see. Number 7 is Watch Dogs. Now, Watch Dogs has been, out there and being developed for a long time. And it was actually supposed to come out in November or October this year. And unfortunately, it got delayed. When a product gets delayed like this, I'm on board with it. As long as it's to make a better game experience. Which is fine, BioShock Infinite did that. That was going to come out in, February. And they pushed it back a month to make the gameplay better. And that was a fantastic fucking game. And I'm not saying Watch Dogs has the same level of excitement I had for BioShock Infinite, but it definitely looks like a great game. Where it's like Assassin's Creed, it's open world, it's kind of stealthy based, and I love that you're a hacker. Normally, hackers are portrayed kind of like as, we're the good guys, we're rebels, we're rebelling against society. That's kind of the same thing here, except this character has much more of a shady side to him. He's not, I'm not going to say he's a good guy, but, Aiden Pierce, he seems like he's like an anti-hero, and I like that about this game. And also, the ability to fuck with the environment from your cell phone is awesome. That is so fucking funny. There's so many opportunities for exploration, experimentation, and just to fuck with shit. Like that thing they showed in the demo at E3, where you could cause a citywide blackout with the push of a button. How fucking cool is that? And I know a lot of people have heard me talk about this game. They all the time they hear about how I was so impressed with that. Both graphically and gameplay wise. It's just so badass. And I'm guarantee you it'll help you so much in this game just to cause a blackout with the push of a button. That will be awesome. And of course, it's gonna be, open world. Hey, that'll be awesome. You get to explore all of Chicago, and you get to screw with the environment, like I said. You get to fuck with cameras. You get to jack cars. I don't know if you get to kill innocent bystanders. I kind of doubt it, but you know what? Okay, we'll see. This game looks great. All the hype that's been coming for it now even's been delayed, is pretty high. So hopefully this will live up to the expectations that not only myself, but a lot of people are hoping for this game to be the next huge flagship franchise for Ubisoft. And Ubisoft, I think, is making this to be their next flagship franchise, because they've already revealed they have an end in sight for Assassin's Creed. So we gotta have something new that's gonna, take up the mantle when Assassin's Creed steps down. And hopefully that will be Watch Dogs. Number 6 is the very, very long-awaited Final Fantasy 15. I was so excited for this game, even back when it was announced a long time ago, back in 2006, where it was, of course, Final Fantasy 13 Versus. And now, it's been, at E3, it was reintroduced and rebranded as Final Fantasy 15, where the Versus 13 literally shatters and makes room for 15, which was, that, I swear, that sent such a nerd chills down my spine. I fucking geeked out. Why not? I mean, the Final Fantasy license for me hasn't really been truly great since 10, and that was years ago. I mean, I don't like Final Fantasy 12. I really don't like Final Fantasy 13. I hated Final Fantasy 14, and I'm not talking about A Realm Reborn. I'm talking about the original one. I don't want to go near Final Fantasy 13-2, and my expectations are very low for Lightning Returns. Even so, I'm really excited, to check out A Realm Reborn and 15, because 15, on a graphical level, now that it's been transitioned from the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is going to be a huge leap in scale and progress for these guys. Because what they can do now with the graphical capabilities on the PS4 far exceeds anything they could do on the PS3. I even heard that they wanted to jump from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 because they wanted to give Nocturnus the ability to teleport from one end of this giant city to the other within the blink of an eye. That is cool. And all like the crazy shit they showed in the E3 trailer, you know, with gigantic monsters and all this action going on at the screen, all these gigantic large scale battles, seems really to be, it feels next gen. And it seems to be something that only like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One can deliver. And it looks incredible. And hopefully if this game, because I've heard that they're kind of shying away from the typical Final Fantasy combat system, which is something I really don't care for all that much. I do not like the turn-based combat. I do not like the kind of attack, wait your turn, attack, wait your turn. They're kind of going for more like a Kingdom Hearts style kind of action, which I'm much more in favor of. And it looked awesome in the trailer. Like all of these battles, it even had like kind of a third-person shooter kind of thing where Nocturne would like hide behind stuff and shoot stuff at enemies. Cool. I'm really excited to play this game. This is one of the reasons why I would buy a PlayStation 4, among many others. So, Final Fantasy 15 is going to be awesome. Number 5 is Telltale Games' Game of Thrones. I'm a guy that's not really into Game of Thrones all that much. I have not read the books. I only watched one season of the show. And yet, I am ecstatic as fuck to play this game. For one reason, large-scale choices and moral dilemmas plus Telltale Games equals enormous goddamn success. I mean, this is what Telltale Games has based their entire career on, making games with huge moral decisions and huge like just stuff that will fuck with your head, stuff like, you know, The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, and now they're doing that with the Game of Thrones. And I do not think a Game of Thrones, they're not basing it on the George R.R. Martin books. They're going to base it on the show. Now, where the games will take place in like the timeline of the show, that needs to be seen, because that is something that can cause a little worry. And the art style as well. Now, if they change the art style from kind of like the comic booky stuff they've been doing with The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, and make it like the more gritty and realistic kind of feel, like the show, that will fit the mood perfectly. It will be just awesome. And it needs to have the gore and the swearing and all the sex and nudity from the show on this game. It will not feel like a Game of Thrones game if like only a fraction of that is on there. It will just feel, you know, dishonest. So there you go. Game of Thrones plus Telltale Games is a match made in gaming heaven. And hopefully they don't fuck this up. I am a little worried now that they've got 4 games this year on their plate. They've got like the next episodes of The Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead Season 2, and then they got the Tales from the Borderlands, and now they got Game of Thrones. And if Game of Thrones can be put on the next-gen consoles, maybe it can fix that frame rate problem they've been having. So, please, Telltale Games, I hope they are not biting off more than they can chew. Even so, this is a game that I am so excited to play, and for it to fuck up my mind. Number 4 is the tentatively named Star Wars Battlefront 3, or as Wikipedia puts it, Star Wars Battlefront 2015 video game developed by DICE. It's Battlefront. It's Star Wars Battlefront. I loved these games growing up when had my PlayStation 2. And I remember the days when I actually went to my local Best Buy and bought these games. Because they're awesome. They are, like, where the prequels failed, these games made up for that in some way by actually putting us in this world and fighting, you know, not only, like, the soldiers and the droids and the Empire and the Rebels, you also got to actually play as the Jedi characters now. And hopefully they bring all of this to Battlefront 3. Whereas we only got a small teaser of it at E3 and to confirm that, yes, this is in development. So, actually, you know what? A thought has just come into my head right now. I'm going to make number 4 a tie. Number 4 is going to be a tie between Star Wars Battlefront 3 and Uncharted 4. Because these are both games that are confirmed to are being developed. And they are coming out, but we really don't know much about them. We don't, they're kind of like, we really don't know that much about Uncharted 4 either. We don't even know if Nathan Drake is going to be in it anymore. I'm sorry to, like, add something at the total last minute on this list, but that thought just came into my head. Right here, number 4, Star Wars Battlefront 3 and Uncharted 4. Right there, 2 games that I'm really looking forward to that we don't exactly know that much about. We know very little based on, like, a very short teaser. But their reputation is so huge that excitement for these games cannot be ignored. These are games that... These could be system sellers. Really, these could be system sellers if Naughty Dog and DICE do not screw it up. Which Naughty Dog, I have complete faith in. They are going to deliver a fantastic Uncharted next-gen game. Battlefront, as excited as I am, I'm a little hesitant towards EA handling Battlefront, especially after, you know, everything I've heard that has to do with, like, the way they handled Battlefield 4 and SimCity and all these other games that were just released in such subpar quality, especially on the PC. Get your shit together, EA. Get your fucking shit together and do complete justice to Star Wars Battlefront 3. This is a game we have been looking forward to for years now. And do not fuck it up. Please do not fuck this up. Number 3 is Destiny. And this game, like, you know, like Watch Dogs, this is a game that has been hyped up for so many years because of the pedigree behind it. And the concept, where Destiny, a lot of people I've heard are kind of about Destiny because they feel like it's another Halo. And from a first glance at, like, the trailers and the cover art, yeah, you could make that assumption, but once you've actually read up on what they're doing and how they're going to make it, like, a much more, like, friend-based campaign and much more, like, multiplayer online, that is fantastic. I am really falling in love with the way Bungie is handling this game, and it just looks amazing. They've got all, like, the really kick-ass stuff ahead of them. They've got fully customizable characters, so you're not walking around just like, you know, one guy, Master Chief. You can be your own character. I think they even released a screenshot of someone has made, like, a Skyrim-like armor for their character in Destiny, and that looks fucking awesome. You get to explore planets. You get to explore the lost colonies on the Moon and Venus and Mars. Among, like, those are only a few of them. All this stuff leading up to a big development in becoming pretty much an MMO. You can go into your own multiplayer map, or your single-player map even, and friends could come in to your... It's like a Borderlands thing, where friends can come into your single-player campaign and help you fight these monsters and help you win, like they showed in the E3 demo this year. And pretty much the word that Bungie has been using to describe Destiny is that this world is alive and you don't feel like you're walking among highly detailed backgrounds. You're in a world that is constantly changing, constantly adjusting to the way that you play and adapting to your style of playing, and includes just this an insane amount of detail to it, like global illuminations and dynamic lighting. Awesome. And it's going to look better on next-gen consoles than it is going to be on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Though I could buy this on the PlayStation 3. I don't want to. I really want to have this on the PlayStation 4 so I can play with my friends who are going to get PS4s. And this is going to be one of those games that I play with my friends constantly. And I'm really happy. I'm also really happy, especially in light now that Titanfall has been announced. They're not going to have a single-player campaign, which really bummed me out, because I was looking forward to that too. Destiny is going to have a complete story campaign, single-player. And I'm really happy they're taking the time to do that. And it looks great. I mean, you got a bunch of characters in the single-player campaign. It's not just a bare-bones thing. This game is going to kick ass. This game will be hopefully better than Halo. And to be fair, Halo's not that bad. A lot of people give Halo shit. But, you know, I'm not a Halo guy, but I did like Reach quite a bit. And I do like the multiplayer elements from those games. And it seems like Bungie is definitely progressing that to a substantial degree for Destiny. So, Destiny, my number 3 most anticipated game of 2014 and beyond, simply because it looks like a game that I can play with my friends so much. And my number 2 choice on my most anticipated games list is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I never played the first game. I played the fuck out of the second game. Whenever I could get my hands on it, because I don't have an Xbox 360, whenever I could get my hands on that game, I fucking played the shit out of it, and I fucking loved it. I loved just this deep interactive world that they did. I love the morality thing they do in these games. I really like the combat, even though it can be very difficult. I really like the combat. I really like the characters in this series. And this game looks amazing. From every trailer I've seen of it, oh my god, fantastic. And it makes me sad, though, that this is going to be the last Witcher game, because they've said this is going to be the final story of Geralt. So, you know, hey, Godspeed to Witcher. Hopefully you guys are going to go out on a huge high, because this looks fantastic. All the graphical effects are definitely feeling next gen. Another game that I would be willing to buy a next gen system for. It's also, I've heard it's like 20% bigger than Skyrim, which is insane. I've heard it's approximately about like 100 hours for the completion of the main story and side quests. That will be awesome. It's going to be 30 times larger than The Witcher 2, which is awesome. And I've heard there's only areas you can acquire by going like on a boat or a horse. And the deep morality system is back. And I wish CD Projekt Red would release footage from their E3 demo, because from what I've read about it, it was fantastic and would have won Game of the Show if they had released it to the public. But you know what? I'm pretty sure we're gonna get this this footage sometime soon, because their release date is going to be around 2014 if they aren't gonna delay it. Which, please God, do not delay this. I'm dying to play this game. Hey, Witcher 3. The title says it all. This game is known for quality. It's being developed by CD Projekt Red. They're known for high-quality games. And even though this sadly will be the final Witcher game, this will go out on the high that it deserves. And this game has my full support, and I will definitely be picking this up when I get a PlayStation 4. And of course, my most anticipated game of 2014, 2015, or any fucking future year is really no surprise. I mean, do I really need to say what I'm looking forward to the most? Alright, it's Kingdom Hearts 3. Of course it's Kingdom Hearts 3. What else will it be? Everything that looks that's gonna make this a masterpiece. It's right there. You've got everyone back now. You got Tetsuya Nomura, you've got Yoko Shimomura, it's back on the main consoles. Even if it is going to be strangely on the Xbox One, it is going to be designed more specifically towards the PlayStation 4, which I'm happy about. And, you know, Sora's back, and Kairi's a playable character, hopefully. Riku's going to be in it. Mickey's going to be in it. Pretty much all these characters, and it's leading up to the final chapter in the Dark Seeker thing they're doing. I really wish this would be the last game in the series, because it's not that I don't want any more Kingdom Hearts games. I just want them to focus all their attention on wrapping up all the loose ends in this game that the series has had so far, and end it, and move on to another property. Because this series needs an ending. I do not want them to milk this series out and stretch it far further than it needs to go. But on to the positive. They actually fucking announced Kingdom Hearts 3. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought they would actually do that at last year's E3? And holy fuck, I went fucking ballistic when they announced it. I wish I could have recorded my reaction to it, but I was not expecting to see it there. You know, best I can say is I hyperventilated and I cried like a little bitch. Because this game means so much to me, as you can probably tell, because a lot of my videos are related to Kingdom Hearts. And this just looks fantastic. The graphics, oh my god, so good. The way in the trailer it just transitions from the CGI render to the in-game PlayStation 4 stuff. Oh my god. Amazing. And all the opportunities are there to include, you know, Pixar worlds and Disney worlds they kind of long ignored. Do not put in Star Wars and Marvel. No! Do not put those in there. That will be dumb. Do not put them in there. I do not want to see Sora with a fucking lightsaber or Deadpool winking to the audience while he fights alongside Sora. I don't want to see that. No! Alright. And the way that the Keyblade can transform into other stuff now, like it can transform into a gun, it can be used to activate the environment so that you can use Disney rides to fight bosses like the Rock Titan from Hercules. You're going to be fighting it on a big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which is awesome. You've also got it using a pirate ship to fight off Heartless. And my personal favorite, you get to actually ride a wave of Heartless now. Holy crap! Holy crap! Holy crap, that will be fucking awesome. So, this is a system seller. I was a little apprehensive about buying a PlayStation 4 before the E3 conference, and based on what I saw at the Sony one, was going to be like a deciding factor of whether I would really want to get a PlayStation 4 within, during the year that it's first released. Oh yeah. Even if this game, there's no fucking way this game's going to come out in 2014. No way it's going to come out in 2015. Might come out in 2016. Most likely 2017, 2018. But you know what? It's been almost 9 years since they announced Final Fantasy Versus. Look how long that has fucking taken. I mean, Final Fantasy 15. Look how long Final Fantasy 15 has taken to even be, announced, and then gone back into limbo, and then to be reborn as a different game. So, I'm a little concerned about the developing process of Kingdom Hearts 3, but hey, they announced it, alright? That's all that matters. They fucking announced it, and it's out there, and Tetsuya Nomura has given some interviews about the game. Yes, it's definitely being developed for. Even right now, they're kind of focusing more on Titanfall and Final Fantasy 15. I understand focusing more on Final Fantasy 15. They announced that years ago, so get that out, then work your little hearts out on Kingdom Hearts 3 and release it to be the masterpiece that it should be. Because I would rather them take 10 years and have the game be a masterpiece than take 5 years and have it be just okay. So Final Fantasy 15, work on that, then do Kingdom Hearts 3. Please, Square Enix, you know what you need to do. Get it done, guys. Alright. Whew. Definitely going to be some reviews coming out for some games coming soon. Stuff like South Park, which I am going to get the South Park game. I'll try to get Thief. I'll try like Infamous Second Son. Once I get a PlayStation 4, you'll definitely see a review on that. But the next list I'm going to do, my top 10 and bottom 10 films of 2013. Look out for those. Those should be coming in about, like I said, late February. And if I don't see any movies, which I probably will, I'll probably do like reviews of the Lego Movie and all these other fucking movies. And the new animated Justice League movie coming out. Really looking forward to that. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what you are fucking freaking out the most to play in 2014 and beyond. Leave it in the comments section. I want you to favorite, rate, comment, subscribe. And thank you for watching. And have a good one, guys.